Hey everyone, so yeah, I wasn't sure I was gonna be doing something for this, but I don't know, I wanted to talk about it because I'm excited. Well, like you most likely know, new images were released for the Legend of Zelda movie. We've got one right in front of us now. So three images, one of Link, one of Zelda, and one of both of them. This is a response from Nintendo over the leaks that happened before the weekend. So during the weekend, there were some leaks that happened. Someone filmed behind the scenes when they were filming, and since the footage was really well, it was an ugly cam footage. So I think Nintendo decided to tell people, all right, if you want to see something, we'll show you something, and they took out those pictures and shared them with everyone. So yeah, pretty cool, honestly. I'm really happy with the pictures, with the way it looks. They don't look too cosplay. That was one of my concerns. Usually, costumes for medieval epics kind of look really like too clean, like they're coming out of the dry cleaner. But here, no, it seems like it's worn out. Yeah, everything looks a bit dirty. So not everything is super clean and super crisp, and I really like that. I also like the photography, but I know this is not a shot from the movie itself. It's probably more a shot made specifically for the marketing. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Actually, this specific shot reminds me a lot of the concept art from Breath of the Wild. This one. So we've got Link and Zelda looking over Hyrule Field. Pretty cool. Something that is of note in this is also that Link is wearing a green tunic and Zelda is wearing blue. So that makes me think that they're not gonna be redoing the story of either Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time or any other game. They're gonna make a specific amalgam of all the games and probably do an original story. Zelda has her blue outfit from Breath of the Wild. Well, not exactly the same, but inspired by Breath of the Wild. Link has his green outfit, inspired by everything else other than Breath of the Wild that we've been in. He doesn't have his cap, but he does have something that looks like a hood over his shoulder. So I assume that will be taking the place of the cap. Well, the hat, actually. I know a lot of people might be disappointed in that, but honestly, I think the hat in live action would look really weird and pretty bad. It would be goofy, honestly. And as much as I'm a purist in terms of wanting them to stay faithful to the games, there are things that just can't really work in live action as well as in a cartoon or an animated form. So yeah, no, I think it's a pretty nice shot. Zelda has a bow. So yeah, she's been having a bow in several games, from Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. She even uses a bow in Age of Calamity and Super Smash Bros. So yep, I'm pretty sure she's gonna end up having light arrows by the end of the game. Something of note also is that Link doesn't have either a shield or a sword, so that might be early in the movie. Before he gets the Master Sword and before he gets the Alien Shield. Which brings me to a pretty interesting point. I think that the reason why Link and Zelda might be together this early, well, like I said, I don't think they're gonna be redoing the story from a specific game. I think they're gonna amalgam a couple of them together to make a new original story. But what I'm thinking now is that maybe Zelda is... she's escaping from the castle, and that's why she's dressed as a civilian. She's trying to be incognito, and she's mostly a fugitive, like a Link to the Past or Echoes of Wisdom. That would make the most sense, and probably... I would assume Link helped her escape, probably by chance, and they end up together, and now they need to take down the wizard, maybe Aghanim or Ganondorf himself, before they come back. Also, we've seen... I will not be discussing or showing the leaks too much, but we've seen a character in there that was very reminiscent of a character from Ocarina of Time. So I assume that they will be taking inspiration from that game for the story in this, because among other things, it's the game that pretty much established the lore and the foundation for everything that came in the stories of the other games afterward. So the myth of the creation of the world and how the three goddesses created the Triforce. That was really mostly explained in Ocarina of Time for the first time. It was in instruction booklets before, but as far as in-game narrative goes, it was all established in Ocarina of Time. So yeah, I think they're gonna draw heavily from that, but have their own original story based on that. A bit of a link to the past, maybe, with Zelda being the fugitive, trying to escape the castle with Link. And then a couple of Breath of the Wild. They're gonna use a bit of Breath of the Wild imagery, most likely, so that new fans can know, can recognize some of the characters and some of the environment. So yeah, here we've got the close-up at Zelda. Yeah, good elf ears, Hylian ears, actually. She looks perfect. She looks the part. I couldn't ask for more. We can see a little bit of Triforces on her shirt. So yeah, it's a ton of little Triforces all placed together. So yeah, she looks the part. She's got the braids from Breath of the Wild. So they got inspired by Breath of the Wild for Zelda's look. That's for sure. And then for Link, that's a mix of several Links. For the hair, it's definitely Breath of the Wild, and for the face itself, it's pretty similar to any Link that we've had. Still, blue eyes, green tunic. The tunic is very reminiscent of the one from Twilight Princess. So I assume it's only because the Twilight Princess tunic is the more realistic one. So here, it's of course it seems realistic. It also looks a bit worn out. So yeah, it's not new. It's not out of the dry cleaner. We can see a couple of patches and it's rough around the edges. So it's yeah, I really like that. I really hope that it's something they do more in the movie in general, so that everything feels lived in and it doesn't look like they're on a stage play or in a volume set or something like that. I'm thinking it looks really good, and I'm pretty sure I trust Wes Ball to do something grand and something epic. He's got an eye for capturing the gigantism of environments. If you've seen Maze Runner or Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, you probably noticed that already. So yeah, can't wait for this. It's gonna be amazing. I've been waiting for a Zelda movie ever since we saw that April's Fool's trailer from IGN 20 years ago. And yeah, it's finally getting there. We're gonna be watching a Zelda movie pretty soon, in a little bit more than a year. Alright, so that's gonna be it. It looks awesome. I'm super excited for the movie. I can't wait to see more. And as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.